Hey, what's up people, it's TTC, and I'm not a Transformers collector, but I was listening to an episode of the Weekly Planet, and they were talking about Rise of the Beasts, which is a movie that I haven't actually seen, and it got me thinking about the old Beast Wars cartoon that I used to watch as a kid, that I've probably not thought about in like 25 years. You can totally hear the kids watching Peppa Pig in the background. I decided to go and track down a few episodes, and yeah. They're bad. Now, you know what? They're not that bad, but that proper, really old sort of like PS1 style graphics, CGI animation, it's kind of painful to watch. But as I was watching it, it unlocked some like crazy memories of the old toys that I used to have as a kid that I just completely forgotten about. And after doing just a quick little bit of research, it turns out I had loads of these things as a kid. So of course I hopped on eBay just to go and, hypothetically see what kind of prices these things go for. And I actually found one that I remember having as a kid, and I got dead excited, and then eBay starts offering you other ones, and it was like, hey, remember this? Or maybe you might be interested in this. And there was one that I really, really, really wanted, and for one reason or another never got. So I got all giddy, and I ran to go and show my wife, whose name is Beeb, by the way. I hate saying my wife all the time, I sound like Bora or something. So yeah, I showed her and I was like, hey, look at all these are so cool. I remember these from being a kid, and man, I love these, but don't worry, I don't feel the need to buy any of them. So of course I went and bought the one from my childhood, and I got a pretty good deal, I think. And then I ended up buying the other one as well because I can't help myself. So even though I originally didn't really want any of these, I've now got two of them, so let's go and see what stupid crap I bought, shall we?
I done got myself some cheaters. Can't necessarily say I had a favourite character as a kid, but he's the one that I definitely remember the most. The shiny metallic one here on the left, that's the one that I remember really wanting as a kid because it just looks so cool. But this weird looking one here on the right, that's the one that I had. And it's also pretty cool in its own way. But man, you can definitely tell how old these are. These are so 90s, it hurts. It's been a long time since I've seen some Vac Metal, so we'll go through these one at a time and have a look at them individually. I think I'll save the best for last, and that being the shiny one here on the left. So let's have a look at this guy here first. So I did buy a modern version to actually compare to these two, but unfortunately the seller actually sent me a Tarantulas instead. Mistakes happen, it's nobody's fault. I got a full refund, so, not the end of the world. But it was still pretty cool to have a quick look at it before I sent it back. I can't be the only person that sees like some kind of girl with long blonde curly hair on the back of this spider. And since it isn't mine, I didn't want to mess around transforming it, so this is as close as you're going to get to having a look at the spider. So after doing just a little bit of research, it turns out that this guy's called Transmetal 2 Cheetor. I never actually knew that as a kid. I don't remember seeing him in the show or anything. I thought this was just one of those weird, extreme 90s figure designs. And it is that. It is definitely pretty bloody weird. Obviously in the show, this is when some kind of virus or something takes over him and he turns into some kind of like werewolf type Right, look, far from an expert on this, don't ask me, but point being, it's definitely pretty visually interesting, isn't it? Far from your classic looking cheetah with all these weird metallic parts and then these giant spikes on the elbows and everything. I mean, someone had a lot of fun designing this. I'm only just now after 30 years realising he ain't got no spots. Where's his damn spots? The head sculpt on this thing is definitely pretty cool though. I mean, look at that. It's obviously a lot more exaggerated. It's not your classic, like, natural looking cheetah. But I always really liked it, it looks proper mean and nasty. I gotta be honest, from certain angles, it always reminded me of the Yellow Ranger's, like, Bearzord from the Power Rangers movie. I don't know if I'm the only person who can see that. But either way, it is definitely really cool and really well sculpted too. Especially for the time. Just unfortunately, you just gotta kind of ignore the big seam running right down the middle of his face. I mean, surely there was a better way of doing that. Now, one of the fun and also pretty annoying things about this is all the metallic Vac Metal Cadbury's purple pieces on the arms here. I mean, nothing screams 90s more than this shiny stuff that, I used to just spend so much time as a kid just staring at this and just think, whoa, how did they do that? Obviously, a lot of this one is kind of scraped off from whoever previously owned it, but that's fine by me because this is what mine looked like as a kid too. I always used to play with it in the bath and it would just come right off like it is doing right now. Don't know if you can see that, but it's all over my fingers. I never understood why this piece is on a hinge though. Like obviously it comes up and out from the arm like that, but it doesn't actually do anything. So yeah, never really knew what that's for. And then the last piece here on the leg is actually one of the coolest things about this. This is something that had stuck in my mind for years. It's all actually cast in this metal plastic, so the yellow pieces are actually painted on, so they don't quite match up with the rest, but that's not a big deal to me. It does actually flip up to reveal the little Maximal logo inside. Oh, this is cool. This is the whole reason that all of this started. For some reason, just that little logo there was burnt into my memory, and I could not remember what it was from. I had to do loads of searching and asking AI to help me figure out which figure this was. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the super bright sort of acid green colour there that is also really 90s. But I just always thought this was dead cool as a kid. Plus, I really like the little transparent orb that's covering over the top of it. That's also just a nice little touch that they probably could have cheaped out on. Obviously, all the other pieces under the leg here are all sculpted on too in that sort of dull grey plastic, which isn't as cool, but you know, it doesn't really need to be, does it? Half the time you're not even going to see it. See, after watching a few episodes now, isn't it something like the green energy comes out of this part on his leg and comes around him and infects him, and that's why he turns into this weird werewolf type cheetah or something? I don't really know. Let's face it, it wasn't exactly the coolest thing in the world. Now, this one here is missing a cannon that would sit all the way down the middle of his back here, pointing towards his face. It was done in that sort of metallic purpley colour too. It would hinge up and down like that, and then you could lift it out and use it as a gun in robot mode. Obviously, it's not great that it's missing, but I lost mine as a kid too, so again, fine by me. And a cool little detail, if you zoom right in, there's actually like little buttons and screws and little mechanical parts actually sculpted in there, which is kind of cool considering you're never really going to see that. And it's cool that all the fur is actually sculpted on. I've always been quite a sensory person, so I just enjoy rubbing my fingers all over this figure like some kind of friggin' weirdo. It's cool the way all those robotic, sort of mechanical pieces just stick out from under the fur like this. They are done in sort of a dull, greyish coloured plastic, which is a bit of a shame. You know, it would look better if it was shiny or silver, but you can't hold this to like too high standards considering how old it is and how long ago it came out. I mean, sort of 5 or 6 years old. None of it mattered to me. I just thought this was cool as hell. I can get a little bit nitpicky about this though. This is kind of weird that there's no articulation in his right foot, hand, paw, whatever you want to call it. All of his others are fully capable of being flat on the ground at the same time, and then this one just doesn't. And that even used to annoy me when I was younger. I mean, surely it could have been pretty easily done. Right, well, let's stop waffling on about this weird looking cheetah and get him transformed, shall we? I do remember that I always used to get this guy sort of halfway and then I'd get kind of lost and stuck for whatever reason and just give up and leave it like that. But it's actually quite easy. There's only a few little steps really, there's not loads to do, so let's just crack on and show you that. And here he is, all transformed, and just like the beast mode, there's definitely some cool bits about it, but man, this is weird. He has got some strange proportions. He's very short and squat. He's still got that really severe hunchback that comes from the cheetah, and then because of the paws or whatever, his hands just constantly point forward like that. It's kind of weird. Looks like a secretary with the big long fake nails sat at the keyboard. Sort of feels to me like whoever designed this put a lot more thought into the beast mode than they did this mode, because I don't know, if you were going to weigh up pros and cons, I think one is definitely much better than the other. I mean, all you really do is tuck the cheetah head down and then flip it around, and then the head comes out of his ass and you just spin everything back round again to make the front the back and the back the front. The arms are so weird, man. I mean, all you do is just spin them around so that... Oh no, don't get stuck. Oh, for God's sake. This head isn't that bad looking either though. I mean, I kind of like the design of it, to be honest. It still definitely looks like a Transformer. It's got that middle, whatever the hell you want to call that, in the middle of his forehead, which comes from the earlier designs of him. I mean, that's pretty nicely done, you know. The little bit of paint that's there. I mean, it's on, and it hasn't scraped off over 30 years, so that's quite impressive. And he's got that really mean little snarl, with all of his little teeth showing. There's a small amount of articulation, the way that it just swivels left and right, which I'm going to be super careful with. And there's kind of like a little pivot too. So when you're transforming him and you close the rib cage up like this, there's actually two little tabs here at the top. that sort of just slot into the neck and stop it from wobbling around too much. Smart. I like the details on this ribcage part, but it just doesn't quite want to close up properly. So as I mentioned before, if you did actually have the cannon that comes on his back, then you can take that off and you sort of fit it into his left hand here, which he can use then as a gun, and you just sort of move the thumb here to hold it. But from what I remember, he never really held it that well, to be honest with you, and then there's not really much articulation for doing much aiming. I mean, it's weird. Alright then, let's move on and have a look at this guy. This is actually the Transmetal 1 Cheetor, this is the image of him that I've burned in my mind. Like, if you ask me to think about Cheetor, then this is kind of what I picture. And this thing here, as old as it is, and, you know, as dated as some of the manufacturing on it is, this is a thing of absolute beauty, innit? All that super shiny Vacuchrome gold, and then the silver, and then this metallic blue paint as well. I mean, come on, you know that looks cool as hell, doesn't it? You can't argue with me. Don't even try it. This is sick. Oh, it's turning me into a proper excited little boy. This super shiny gold vac metal paint on this, oh man, it's beautiful. Whoever had this before me has taken really, really good care of this, because it's all, for the most part, still there, and you just don't see anything like this anymore, do you? I mean, probably for good reason. I mean, when it flakes off, it's probably like super toxic and we're all going to get cancer, but this one is actually not that bad for flaking. There's even a small amount of it here, just on the sort of hip, shoulder, I don't know what the hell you call that on a cheetah, but there you go, a bit on the leg. All the colour choices for this are actually really cool. I mean, the greyish silver isn't obviously shiny metallic, but it's a really cool colour. It's not quite just flat grey. There's a weird sort of colour to it, I don't know what. And then whilst we're looking at the legs, these pins here are actually metal. I mean, that's crazy. You ain't getting modern toys with any metal pins in them, are you? He's got his name printed pretty nicely there, just behind his head, in case he gets lost and needs returning to his owner, I presume. And the head sculpt itself on this is a really, really nice one. I mean, it's quite obviously smooth and robotic looking. It's obviously not a natural cheetah head again, but I don't know, there's something just really cool looking about this one. I don't even know what it is, but I really, really like it. And the colour choice for that, the bright orange on the eyes just stands out from the blue. This one obviously does also have a seam running down the middle of the face, but at least there's actually a reason for this one. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, one thing they did with these when they got to this Transmetal stage was they gave them like a second alternate mode where they're basically sort of an animal, sort of a vehicle. It's kind of a weird concept, but some of them are pretty cool. I remember Rattrap having wheels and Optimus having a weird flying surfboard thing. Don't really know what that was about. But Cheetor, you've got to just like stick his hands out like he's Superman or something, and then underneath here, you just pull this out, and he's got two little jets, or wings, or... I don't really know what you want to call these, but they're definitely pretty damn cool. I really, really like this. It's a nice little just extra feature to have, innit? Although, he definitely looked pretty stupid flying like this. Hey, you know how usually when I show a figure flying, I always end with making them crash? No, not this one. This is so old. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to break this. This is also really cool because when I was a kid, I had, I forget what they were called, those mask figures with the car where the doors opened up into wings, and then just any Matchbox or Hot Wheels toy that had gold wing doors, they were always wings to me, so this is my kind of thing. Hidden away underneath there, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of small and kind of dark, but there is a little Maximal logo thing, which the lights are actually starting to affect it now, but it's supposed to be thermoreactive, so you kind of can't see it until you heat it up, or you rub it and then it changes colour, and then you can kind of see it a bit more, I suppose. Not really. Let's try zooming in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit better, but I had different ones of this when I was a kid that definitely worked better. This is still kind of quite dark and not super visible, is it? But hey, you know, it's a cool little feature, something for kids to fart around with, and it's just another one of those super 90s things. Alright, let's get this guy transformed, shall we? And obviously, since I didn't own this one, I did actually have to look it up. And thankfully, it's another quite simple one. It's not one of those really awkward things where you've got to twist and turn and pull things or whatever. No, this guy, you basically just stand him up and move the legs around a bit, and it's pretty easy. I mean, just look at this guy. I mean, if you were born in the 90s, I mean, come on. I mean, look at it. such big, extreme proportions and super bright colours, and you can still see all the shiny metal and everything. Oh, just, man, ridiculous nostalgia coming off this thing. See, despite the fact that I never owned this, I'm pretty sure one of my friends did, so I feel like I've just seen all this before. Like, I know it. So now it sort of feels like seeing an old friend after like 20-something years, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, it's cool, man, because now I can get to know it better than I ever did then. And the first thing that I've noticed is that the sculpt on this is actually really quite impressive. I mean, it's a bit boxy and dated, but still cool. The design of this, he does end up with what I think Transformers fans call kibble. Basically, he's got a big backpack of just the leftover pieces that couldn't transform. He's just got these big legs stuck to him, which it isn't ideal, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't hate it for some reason, although it does make him just a little bit back heavy. Thankfully, the feet do help with that, because when he's in cheetah mode, you know, there's just like the one little bit, and then the legs point that way. But obviously when you stand him up, the legs straighten out, and then this extra little bit just sort of sticks out the back like a toe or something, and it really, really helps with the balance. I mean, that was some pretty smart engineering there. And then again, thanks to these metal pins, all the joints are actually really stiff. I mean, considering how old this is, I'm actually kind of scared of moving a lot of these joints because I really don't want to break that. It's not perfect though. I mean, I never really liked the hands on this design. It don't make any sense. I mean, they're sort of always stuck in this weird sort of, like a Lego man's hand, that kind of shape. I mean, I get it's because they make up the teeth of the actual cheetah head, but when it's in sort of like a hand, it don't really make sense, does it? I mean, he sort of looks more like a crab or something like that. I mean, what's he going to be grabbing with that? I'm sure they could have figured out some way of giving him fingers instead of this. The hell am I doing? This is another really, really cool head sculpt though. I like this. Again, might as well just say for everything, it all looks pretty dated. But at the same time, still really nicely done, you know? I mean, it's got that proper Transformers-esque looking head. It's got those big teeth that make no sense. Why would a robot need teeth? But who cares, man? There they are. And the teeth and the eyes and the ears, all the little highlights are picked out in a lighter blue, which I actually think is a really cool choice, man. I mean, it stands out against the darker blue and the yellow. There is a little bit of articulation with the way that the head tucks down into the chest, and then there's a little bit of a swivel left and right, but oh, no, that's stiff. It's old, man. I'm not messing with that. And thanks to the way that he transforms, you can actually get both arms forward and into that weird sort of cheetah head blaster thing that he used a lot. Oh, man, it's these elbows, really, where they're the most stiff. Really, really don't want to snap that. But if you're careful enough, you can straighten them out and then just sort of attach the two halves of the head together. Oh, I really don't want to snap these pegs here either. Come on. There you go. I managed to get it done, and then you just point the arms forward, and then that's supposed to be like that, but obviously now he's lost his shoulders, so technically it works, but I don't think it looks any good. I kind of wanted to see if I could get this Marvel Legends blast effect to look cool, but no, that ain't going in there at all. And I was thinking maybe in these jet booster things, but there's a big bloody screw in there, so forget that. He does actually have one other weapon though that you can see there dangling between his legs. No, don't fall over! Yes, what I meant was he's got this tail here that you just pull out, and it's nice that it's still actually quite stiff after all this time. I mean, it's easy to pull out without breaking it, and then you can just slide it back in. Alright, stop doing that. And then it just fits really super lazily in his hand, and then there you go. I mean, I don't have a clue what the hell that's supposed to be. What's he going to do with that? It's not an axe. It's not a whip. I don't know. You tell me, because I've got no idea how does he use this as a weapon? I mean, he can't use it as an axe because the blade is going the wrong way, but I mean, obviously it's pointy like that, so maybe you could use it like a pickaxe, but then the handle curved like that is kind of counterintuitive to that, so that wouldn't work. And then it's obviously not a whip because it's a stiff piece. I mean, what is this? Absolutely lazy design, that's what it is. They did such a good job of everything else and then gave up when it came to this. But it's not crap enough to ruin this for me because I still really, really love this. Right, let's do a couple of size comparisons, and I'm not transforming this guy again because I'm not getting his head out of his ass again. So we'll just stick to this one. Here he is with the McFarlane black and white Arkham City Penguin. Although, to be honest, if I'm going to compare him to a 7-inch figure, maybe I shouldn't use such a small one. Let's go find another one. Alright then, here he is with the Arkham Knight Red Hood, and clearly there's quite a bit of a size difference. And then for a 6-inch figure, here's the Marvel Legends Hawkeye that come with that weird, super retro flying moped thing. For another weird oddity in my collection is the Figuarts Sailor Moon, and I swear to God, this is my wife's figure. It is not mine. I am not one of those creepy, weird guys. So not only am I happy that I bought these, I'm just really happy to see them again. As much as the one on the right here is definitely kind of a weird figure, it just took me all the way back to my childhood, and that just feels good, you know? I'm only 32, I'm not exactly super old or anything, but I am at the age where I'd kind of forgotten about a lot of that stuff, so going back again and seeing it all again, you can't beat it. And these are now officially the oldest things that I have in my collection. Transmetal 1 is 97, the other one's 98. And considering I'm not really a vintage collector, then there you go. I don't think they're going to get beaten anytime soon. It's a shame about the third one not turning up, I suppose, but, you know, mistakes happen, it's nobody's fault, and if I ever end up with it, then I'll just do a video on it then and compare the lot. Don't forget to like this video, drop us a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Plenty more videos coming, loads of Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and who knows, maybe I'll even get some more of these. I mean, probably not. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these ones, but there you go, come back another time and find out what I actually end up doing with these. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.